Welcome back to earnvia. This video, we're going to look at some jobs that AI might take over and some jobs that are safe from AI. And I'm curious to see what you think. Does your job fall in one of these categories? If it falls in one of these categories, might be wise to start having a plan B and thinking of other opportunities on how to make income. So let's look. This comes from a site called builtin.com. It's written by Matthew Irwin. This article is, and looks like it's been updated by Abel Rodriguez on May 15, 2025. And the thing is, things are moving so fast in the AI space. It's unreal. So let's scroll on down. I'll put the link to the article in the video description below. So 11 jobs that AI will replace. Consensus among many experts is that a number of professions will be totally automated in the next 5 to 10 years. So again, if this is one of your jobs, you might want to be cautious about the future. Just saying. So number 1, customer service representative. Yeah, we see that probably already if you get online. All these chat bots and virtual assistants. I'm just like, I want to talk to a human, please. Let me talk to a human being. And then they ask you these questions, pick from one of these questions. Oh, no, that's not mine. I just want to talk to somebody. But I'm sure that's going to improve, keep improving. So the more that improves, the less needs for customer service representatives. Number 2, is this not interesting? Car and truck driver. So with these automated vehicles, autonomous vehicles coming, it's going to be a reduced need for human drivers. How is that more safe than a human driver? Well, I don't know. I don't know about you, but I see tons of people distracted when they're driving down the road these days, looking at their phone, or the light turns green. They're sitting there and you have to lay on your horn because they're just sitting there scrolling on their phone when they should be ready to continue driving. So maybe autonomous vehicles are safer. So if you are somebody that is a truck driver, I'm sure it's inevitable before these trucks come along to do deliveries. If you're an Uber driver, Lyft driver, you might have some competition coming in the future in your little side gig or your main job. If that's your main job, you might have less opportunities out there. But some people might still want a human connection when they use Uber or Lyft. Number 3, computer programmer. And it's something like the computer programmers that probably developed AI are now, their jobs are in jeopardy of being risked. I've heard something like ChatGPT, or the company that owns ChatGPT, OpenAI, that has less than 100 employees. Isn't that something? A big company like that. So when I was growing up, graduating high school or in high school, getting ready to go to college or thinking about career opportunities, computer programmer was it, man. If you got that, software developer, that was like the it job. But I sucked at all the STEM subjects and professions I wasn't interested in and probably wouldn't be good at. So that wasn't even an option for me. But that was one of those great jobs if you could get a computer program. I'm sure it still is, but it's interesting that AI might replace that job. And it's interesting because computer programmers largely created AI. So it's wild, like a boomerang. Research analyst, paralegal, factory or warehouse worker. I know a lot of times, a lot of these towns and cities rely on manufacturing, and half the city or town works at this big plant or this car manufacturing plant or whatever. And man, I could totally see that factory workers being replaced. There was one job I worked at late teens, early 20s, and I left there long before it closed. It was a distribution center. But those workers they were trained to do one thing that was very specific to that one warehouse. And when that warehouse closed down in the Great Recession, 2008, 2009, I'm not sure what year it finally closed down, but I mean, they were scrambling on what to do because of the 20 years they were doing, 15, 20, 25 years, they were doing this one special thing that was only unique to this particular warehouse. And when that warehouse went under and closed down, they didn't have any really marketable skills because their main skill was doing this one machine or this one task in this warehouse. So you can easily train AI technology or have a robot do a lot of these repetitive tasks in factories or warehouses. So if you're a factory worker, warehouse worker, definitely get some skills and hopefully protect yourself in the future. Financial trader, I thought this was interesting. AI could work through the trading process much faster, can also predict market trends while remaining more accurate than human workers. It blows my mind when I use Perplexity or ChatGPT, how fast and how accurate it could give me information and answers. It's unreal. So when you have when you're more accurate and faster than a human, it's gonna spell trouble for your profession, and that's maybe what's going to happen with financial traders. Travel advisor, that could be taking the place of travel agents. So I use ChatGPT all the time to recommend places to go, itineraries. How would you spend 3 days here, 7 days here? I can totally see it. Content writer, this kind of was where I start getting nervous because I love writing content, creating content. And I enjoy it. And it's kind of sad if that could be replaced. Hopefully we can have a partnership, me and AI content generators, to produce content that I still care about, that I'm interested in, that challenges me, and makes me money. Hopefully it won't take my job. Number 10, graphic designer. We see this with Dolly. Lenza, I'm not familiar with that, but I'm very familiar with Dolly. Canva, I love using Canva. Create professional images without artistic expertise. I just put in the prompts, what I want the end result to be, and there you go. So graphic designers, be aware of, I'm sure you are, but it could be less opportunities for you if anybody that's not artistically inclined like myself can just say, hey, I want this kind of picture, this kind of thumbnail, and something produces it for me real quick. And then the last one, again, these were 11 that this article brought up, mentioned 11 jobs that AI will replace. And the last of those 11 is data entry clerk. AI can crank it out a lot faster and more accurate than a human can. All right, now, enough of the grim news. What jobs, according to this article by builtin.com, what jobs, 9 jobs to be specific, AI won't replace? Number 1, teacher. If you're a teacher, anything with a human element, I think you're going to be safe for a good long while. You know, if you have empathy, you care about people, you have compassion, it's hard for AI to do that. They can act like it, but it ain't sincere. So, genuine teacher, authentic teacher, you're probably in good shape. A lot of the helping professions you see, I mean, you got teacher, nurse, social worker, therapist. All these top 4, 1 through 4, helping professions that use empathy, compassion skills, listening skills. So if you're a teacher, nurse, social worker, therapist, at least some of these, you know, you always hear about not getting paid enough. Well, hopefully you will be one of the last professions standing that don't get affected too much by AI. Then down here, number 5, you got handy person, handyman, handy woman, handy person. So if you have a trade like plumbers, electricians, and I think you're going to be in good shape. It's hard to have AI physically work with they don't have hands, and physically repair your toilet, repair your furnace, those sorts of things. So if you're a handy person that's a skilled trade, that is certified in skilled trade or knows how to do things like that, you're probably going to be okay for a while. And isn't it interesting? Because most of my life, everybody's been preaching about going to college, getting a college degree. Now, here in the past few years, it seems like the pendulum has swung, and people kind of advise, in many cases, against going to college, getting in the student loan debt and the cost of college, and coming out with a degree that they can't use versus, a lot of attention has been paid to trades and learning a paid trade. All right, number 6, lawyer. Lawyer should be good, even though paralegals might be replaced by AI. The lawyers, constructing arguments, the creativity that comes along with when you're trying to win a case and stating your case, the difference between what's right and wrong, the ethical kind of things and the decisions, the critical thinking that goes into being a lawyer, succeeding as a lawyer. You should be good. HR specialist, again, some human interactions, some compassion, some communication skills. If you're in HR, you'll probably be okay for the most part. There are probably some jobs that AI will take over in the HR field, but for the most part, HR should still be good according to this article. Number 8, copywriter, technical writer, UX writer. So earlier we saw AI might replace content writers, but copywriters, UX writers, technical writers, they, again, use critical thinking skills. They make decisions based on what their audience, their population needs. So hopefully it'd be a partnership between the writers and AI, because AI can help you with ideas, coming up with things, different angles maybe, but humans can put the finished touches on that. And then along the same lines, we saw graphic designers and might be in jeopardy because of AI and AI art generators, but artists still hold, human artists still hold the upper hand on coming up with creative ways to do things. So compassion, empathy, creativity. If you have a job or your career uses those skills and those traits, then you'll probably be okay. And it goes on the benefits of AI in the workplace and how AI might create jobs. So like at the bottom here of this article, and again, I'll put the link in the description, you're going to have, even though AI is replacing jobs, it's going to create some jobs like prompt engineer, AI ethics specialist, health tech implementation specialist. The AI it's already pretty abundant in the healthcare industry, but they're going to turn to what's called health tech implementation specialists. And that is like they manage things or they implement new AI products. So teaching healthcare, hospitals, doctors' offices, this new technology. AI literacy trainer. So there are educators who teach the fundamentals of AI and help individuals understand functional and practical uses in the workforce. Those are some jobs that are in jeopardy, 11 of them that are in jeopardy according to this article. 9 of them that are relatively safe for the near future. Again, helping professions and a lot of creative professions where you have to be creative around people, help people. So if you like this video, hit that like button. If you hadn't already, subscribe to earnvia, the channel that shows you how to generate income and how you can turn income into independence, where you can be safe no matter what the market, what the marketplace is saying. You will have the skills and know ways to make money so you can be independent and live life on your own terms, and you can work because you want to, not because you have to. So if that kind of content sounds good and helpful and useful to you, then I appreciate it. Hit that like button, that subscribe button, so you can get all the latest notifications from earnvia.